turning it over to Bryan Loper.
Well, thank you. You know, when Ronnie hollered at me and told me that I needed to get a 3-hour presentation together, it kind of took me a little bit to get it together. No, I'm gonna do my best to try to do this in 30 minutes. I'll be straight up with y'all. I can get long-winded, and I'm ADHD, OCD when it comes to getting into things. Okay, that's just me. And for y'all that don't know where I live at, I live in Atlanta, Texas. My call is WX5CSS, and it is related to weather as far as what my call sign is under. Went with a vanity with that because of some other things that I'm involved in that I'll show you on one of these slides here. I'm not up here to put myself on a pedestal or any of that, because we're all ham radio operators, and we are operators for all kinds of different reasons. Mine is weather and saving lives. That's what I'm into it for, okay? If I can save one person's life, it's worth everything I put into it and every bit of the effort that I put into it to make it happen, okay? Many of y'all that are in here probably know the story about the Freedom Link system, as far as who originated it and who was maintaining it and all that. Stephen Smith, which is deceased, Stephen was a good friend of mine. We went to drag races together. I helped them in the pits with their race program that they had. They raced cars and boats and you name it. And they were friends of mine. And it was a shock to me. Matter of fact, his brother Stephen Stewart, me and him are birthday buddies. We're different years apart, but we're born on the same day. So we kind of have a little game that we do every year. We either send somebody a text, each of us a text, and we say got you or didn't get you. You know, he got me this year. He beat me to the punch, wishing each other happy birthdays. So, but the other person that was involved, and every one of y'all know Jim Collum, N5YU. Jim and Stephen had been friends for years, ever since 3rd grade. Okay. So Jim, I think, was living in Arkansas and then moved back down here, and Stephen wanted to make a system because Jim had a system similar to the Freedom Link up in Arkansas. So they got their heads together and started putting equipment together themselves and making contacts. Most of y'all in this room already know the story behind this, but I don't know whether y'all were, after Stephen, let me back up just a second. Stephen got tragically killed up here at Gillum Raceway. Stewart was the one, his brother was the one that was driving the car. Okay? So, once Stephen passed away, all of the Freedom Link system was dumped totally on Jim Collins' plate to take care of everything. Okay? Jim had an argument, I don't know if any of y'all know this or not, he had an argument with a gentleman up in Arkansas over the air. And me and Jim, I've known Jim for years, him and my family. Jim was a fireman, and Jim was knew my dad very well, and knew that I was a decent person, and knew I come from a good upbringing, and I cared about my community and where I was at. Becoming a ham radio operator, me and Jim was kind of my elder when I first got into the hobby. He helped me to understand the works of things that I had no idea about what to do, and still to this day I don't. I have a learning curve that is 1 mile and 2 miles long that I don't know about repeater systems. Okay, so back to the argument deal. Jim and this gentleman in Arkansas got into an argument over the air, and I'm on my way home from work. Jim calls me I'm done. What are you talking about? He gives me the story and he said, I'm telling you what's fixing to happen. He said, I'm either going to dismantle the Freedom Link or I'm going to give you the option to buy it. I'm driving down the road on 59 and I get told this. And I'm like, Jim, I'm thinking to myself, Jim, I don't know crap about freaking repeaters. I'm a ham radio operator 2.5, 3 years in. I don't know nothing about that stuff. Jim goes, well, I'll help you with it along the way. He said, but I'm out of it. I've got to call Linda and get that stuff on the purchase of it. If she's good with it, I'll get with you. I said, okay. I'll tell y'all what we paid for the system. We paid $10,000 for the Freedom Link. Okay? $10,000. $5,000 went to Jim, $5,000 went to Linda. A lot of y'all don't know that, but that's what went because they were in it as a team and as partnership. Okay? Well, I'm sitting there and I'm going, where in the crap am I going to get $10,000 from them? I ain't got $10,000 in a bank account. Well, I did, but but anyway, it's like, you know, that brings family involved when you start chunking 10 grand out of your checking account. Okay, so here's what I did. I made the decision. I love this hobby. I love what I do with it. I love the support that I get, especially from you guys in the Sarah group and the Minden group and the Texarkana group. I couldn't do or couldn't have done what has been done with this system without all of y'all's help. I can't thank y'all enough. Okay? Yes, I have a whole lot to learn, but what I did, I made my mind up. I actually went to the bank and borrowed $10,000 on a 90-day loan. I put myself out on a limb. But I thought about it and I come up with my plan of getting shareholders involved in the system. That way, the workload, the carrying of the system, people with knowledge, we could all come together and continue to make it grow and make it be better than it ever was, hopefully. And even though it's a great system, but we could build reliability into it as well while we were doing our stuff. Because there were some things with this system when I took over, or when we took over, that were unreliable for a Skywarn coverage system. I'll be totally honest with you. Okay? Battery backup was not there. All kinds of stuff was not there. So, in the time when I got that money, I started searching for shareholders within the system to be involved in the system. Each person that got involved, $1,000 to be a shareholder of the equipment and the system. It didn't take me 2 meetings, and I had 9 other people, just like that. 90-day loan, $10,000. It was paid off in less than a month. Because people went, I got it, I'll do it, I'll do it. And I kind of tried to encapsulate myself around people that had knowledge, some that had knowledge in internet type stuff and knowledge on repeater building and the things to do around that. So that's how I got the people together. And on top of that, the biggest thing of it was trying to make it to where it wasn't on one person's shoulders to take and carry the whole load for the whole system. It takes a group, just like y'all, to make a club or a system work, anything. So here's a little bit of some of my certifications and stuff. Ronnie, I don't know if you was you there when I gave the presentation to KTBS at the Weather Watcher School?
No, I was not.
Okay, some of this is from this Weather Watcher program that I did and added some other things to it. But I've got a lot of things that I'm involved in, and the repeater system's not all. As all y'all know, I do a lot with the weather, and Tom and me work together with the Skywarn program down here. And I think we really got a really good alignment of how it's handled. Personally, I do. I mean, I hope everybody agrees on that. You know, it's all about, comes down to that one thing, saving people's lives. That's what it comes down to. So that's what I do. I dedicate, me as my hobby, I dedicate that is, if I can save that one person's life, it's worth it. It's like the weather watchers stuff. Hey, all it takes is one, and I'm good. So many of y'all, I keep talking about the weather watcher thing here. Ronnie, I think you were one of the first kids on the block, just like I was, that was one of the helpers to found the founding members of the KTBS Weather Watchers School, or Weather Watchers themselves. And I'll be honest with you, I enjoyed it a whole lot more when Joe Haynes was around than I do now with Patrick. Patrick's a very intelligent individual, and to be honest with you, probably one of the best presenters for doing presentations that I've ever been around. The man can give a presentation like awesome. Reason I know that's because I was at an integrated weather team conference in Texarkana, and man, I mean, that dude blew it out of the water. I mean, he keeps you encapsulated like a good preacher does. You know? In 22, I was honored to get Weather Watcher of the Year from National Weather Service, and that's one of my, I guess you'd say, one of my best and accomplishments in life to me because of what I do. So anyway, there's a lot of work involved, and there's a lot of long, drawn-out hours in front of computers and on the radio and all kinds of stuff to make it happen. Tom knows that for a fact. But, okay, so back to the Freedom Link system. When Steve and Jim developed this system, there was, ain't no telling how many hours of work and visitation they had to have with hundreds of individuals to be able to make it to where they could link this system with other clubs and whatnot. And that was all before my time of even being a ham, so I can't imagine how much time and effort went into doing that. And in order for this hobby, when I took over as president of it, the way to make things happen is teamwork, and you have to have an open mind to have other individuals involved to make a system or a club or anything like that thrive, right?
That's right.
When I took this system over, it's everybody's system. That's the way I look at it. It's everybody's system, and everybody's welcome to use it. And it's for that one reason, saving lives. Nathan Bailey from the NCTC group, he's a great guy. I mean, super, super great guy, N5REL. Me and him have worked together with the NCTC stuff, and then John Newman and Tyler is who I work with the E-Tech system, E-Tech link of the system. So we're all in together with this. We all work it as a state type of statewide coverage when the time arises, and it works very well now. There were some glitches at first, but we've got all that lined out. For y'all that don't know, the E-Tech system, when we connect to it on net nights, that repeater 147.380 is in Gilmer, and that links to the Casita Mountain 8 foresight. That's how that is linked up. Well, that link there is connected to the E-Tech system down in Tyler, which y'all can't see it really from where you're at, but everything that's in purple here is the Freedom Link system. The green is the E-Tech system, This is another part of the E-Tech system down here in this bronze colors down here. That is not totally linked. That is an on-demand setup. If E-Tech sees fit to link that link is done through one of the repeaters there that connects the rest of these down here, okay? The NCTC system, which is all in red, that is connected through Sulphur Springs, our Sulphur Springs link, okay? We're kind of cheating a little bit with this right now because when we started the Freedom Link system, we started out $10,000 in the hole. Okay, that's basically what it started. So we have had to buy and replace things in it for reliability because that was the main thing this system was lacking. You can't have a system like this if it's not reliable. And so through the last year to year and a half, we have used our funds that we've made from you guys being gracious enough to let us have raffles, our raffling and raffle tickets for the radio we gave away last year. We got a 710 we're raffling now to get money together for this Sulphur Springs link. December year ago, ICE took out the antenna and part of the feed line on that Sulphur Springs tower. It didn't just get ours, it got NCTC as well. Part of that shareholder portion that I decided to do, and all of us as shareholders, was to make the Freedom Link a nonprofit organization. So we went through all of that steps to make that happen. I had a lawyer friend. He did all the paperwork, didn't charge us nothing, got everything set up through the state, everything. All it was us signing the dotted line. Everything was good. So he said, that's my donation to the Freedom Link system because it is a community service. There's not a whole lot of places in the United States or clubs in the United States that have an elaborate system like this. I've done some checking around. They're out there, yes, but they're more in the southern parts of the United States versus the northern areas.
There's one in the Wichita area, Kansas.
Okay, so I mean, you know, you're more. You see what I'm saying? So all of us as operators, we're very fortunate to have systems. Y'all have systems in the Louisiana area as well, and you know, we're fortunate as operators to have the ability to do what we do. It's a neat thing. I love it. It's great. I'm glad to be a part of it. And I'm glad that y'all have asked me to come here to be a part, to explain to you guys, and I appreciate the invite tremendously. I thank y'all, for each one of y'all, for your support. Very much. We're all in this together, and it's all about saving lives. That's it. Ronnie will agree with that. It's a fun hobby. There's so many things that I haven't even experienced that some of you guys have. You know, CW stuff, that's out of my category.
It's practice, man. Practice, okay.
I'm a cheater. I bought the deal that you type it into and it goes. I'm a cheater. Man, I'm all about, you got to get out there to get it in, okay? That's just the way I look at it. The wider your footprint is, the better off you are. I mean, there might be an emergency in Texas, and there might not be one in Louisiana, but there might be one in Louisiana, there might not be one in Texas. But we're all in it together to try to make things happen. That's the key. That's another man right there. I appreciate every bit of the help he's given me. He has been quite helpful to me, and I appreciate John. He's my other Elmer that's helped me with stuff, and it's very, very thoughtful and very I don't know how to say thank you enough to the people that's been supportive.
Well, I appreciate that, your comments there.
Yep.
This is, we're a hand community. And I'm starting my 80th run around the sun, so, trying to share everything I can while I'm
Okay.
still
Well,
here.
we got it.
Do it.
Huh? I got it. Okay. I guess that's it. I'm probably 45 minutes in or whatever. I told you I was gonna be 3 hours, but I'm gonna cut it short. 'Cause
No, you're 39 minutes.
that ain't too bad. That ain't too bad, is it?